Hi there, Black Hole Gaming Report here, and this is the top list for Pokemon games that I would recommend. In this list, it's just purely games that I find that people will have the most fun when it comes to challenge, story, and just appreciating the series itself. And once again, this is all my personal choices, which I'll explain. And, you know, if you agree or don't agree, feel free to comment on it. Right. So, I'm going to start with the most classic one, Pokemon Yellow. Now, red, blue, or yellow is fine, but I recommend yellow because yellow version, you get to choose any of the starters along with your Pikachu that follows you around. And there's no version quite like this one. Also, if I'm not mistaken, I think they put a little more challenge into some of the battles, which is good. And another thing is the classic version has a completely different mechanic from all the new game mechanics. So it's almost like playing a new game, but in an old game. Technically the first one. And when I say choose any of the starters, you get all three starters in yellow, but it makes you see which one you would actually want to have with you. For instance, I had Squirtle and Charmander, but never used Bulbasaur really. Just raised it for the Pokédex, and that's about it. Not that I have anything against him, I just didn't find much use for him. But Pokemon Yellow is a really good game to play again, and it's available on the eShop now for digital download, and you can trade with your friends using your 3DSs, which is pretty cool. Now for the next one, I'm going to recommend is definitely Pokemon Black and White 2. Like 2, not 1. You can play 1, then play 2. Or you can even play 2, then go back to 1. It doesn't matter, but Black and White 2 actually managed to make a whole new game out of essentially a game that was already there. And that was pretty cool. And also they upped the challenge, the difficulty a bit. You'll notice there's harder leveled Pokemon, and the AI actually uses some strategy and really tries to knock your team out. Just something that, you know, like I said, you want a good challenge from a Pokemon game. You don't want to be just doing the same old basic system and getting nowhere. So that Black and White has a great story, just even from the beginning, from the city you start in, and actually starting in a city for once. And just a lot of cool things in there. I could go on and on about it, but I'd be spoiling everything. I just highly recommend that for its challenge, its story, and just a lot of cool features that it has even today. And even though it's a little pricey right now, you can still get your hands on the DS copies in a lot of places actually, even your local game stores. And now, my last game to recommend is the X and Y series. I recommend X and Y because, well, they have pretty great new age value, if that's the right way to put it. But basically, X and Y out of the new generation gave you everything you wanted from a Pokemon game. Now, I will say I do wish the challenge was a little more upped, but with all the Pokemon you have to raise, they also made it kind of easier to raise them for a good reason. But it's a really fun game. It's worth having around, and it really makes you feel like you're a part of the Pokemon world, the game, show, and everything. You know, and it comes to the 3D and the graphics and everything. And I don't really like remakes, so that's why I'm not really saying anything about Omega and the Sapphire and Ruby games, because I don't like the remakes too much. Yeah, it's kind of good to upgrade and go on a bit. And even though the games were pretty good, I highly recommend the X and Y. Personally, for me, I made that my pro game accounts where I could just put all my Pokemon there. And honestly, even with the new Sun and Moon to come out, I would still most likely, if I could, transfer those new Pokemon over to the X and Y, if I was lucky enough. And that's assuming we're not in for a new region surprise, because who knows, the Sun and Moon might be a whole lot more fun to live in. We'll just have to wait and see. But for now, the Kalos was definitely my favorite. And that's about it for that. And I hope this review was a little insightful. I know there isn't too many details about the games themselves because I just don't want to ruin it. But when it comes to enjoying the games and the gameplay value, I can guarantee those are the best three right there. And then if you want to keep going from there, definitely try the Pokemon Platinum or anything from the Diamond Pearl too. This is something you don't want to miss out on. Anyway, thank you very much. This is Black Hole Gaming Report. Please leave a like and a comment. And of course, talk about your games and maybe what order you would like them to share with the world. Because maybe some people will agree with my list, but others can agree with yours. So thanks for watching.